Sacto 1654 said, what is your favorite type of restaurant when you want to visit a real to eat real Japanese food? I did a bad job there. I like to go to Yayoiken and eat katsudon.
We're standing in front of a Yayoiken
right now. So that jogged my memory that this question was there. So, Yayoiken!
And I mean, also there's sushi and soba and ramen and like, ramen, we're bored of ramen at the moment, I'm sorry. But like, there's lots of different things. So like, I mean, sometimes I go get sushi. What is gyudon what is real Japanese food? There's like a lot of different things. Like, convenience store, you can just go to bento or something. Bentos are like real Japanese food. That's like really common Japanese cuisine, and it can be a whole lot of different things. So like, but when we think of Japanese restaurants, or KD thinks of Japanese restaurants,
Perdo Mott also asked, what are the foods you've eaten in Japan that you like the most? Katsudon.
Yeah, so you can look up our Yayoiken video, or you can just like, a Genki sushi video is a good one that we've made. Like, I really like that, and soba is really good, and somen is really good, and udon is really good, and I don't know, there's a lot of stuff. Like, food here is pretty top notch. Like, it really is. You're kind of spoiled living here, to be honest. Alright, so I have stopped at 7-Eleven because Katie needed to use the restroom, and most of the 7-Elevens have bathrooms. So while we were in there, I saw that they had this here. It's an ice cream bar, it's like a popsicle. And a friend of mine that I work with turned me onto these, and they're called a kyde. And it's like, it's not super sweet. I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's not super sweet, but it's not super icy. It's kind of like this perfect blend of the two things. And they're really cheap, like 62 yen. And the reason I'm excited is because this one says it's Hachimitsu Yuzu. So it's like honey, and yuzu is like a lemon orange sort of mixture thing that's in Japan. And I really like anything that's flavored yuzu, I'll eat it, I love it. So I got this guy, and let's see how he is. Spot on. Super good. And sometimes with kyde, there will be like a message like written on the inside, and like you can win a free one. So it's kind of like the lollipops in America, where like if there's a star in the right place or something, you get a free one.
Tootsie Roll Pops.
Tootsie Roll Pops, yeah. So this is sort of the same thing. So sometimes you can get it, and you can just take it to 7-Eleven, they'll give you another one. Okay, and a question. Paul Kimmel says, Eric, how hard is it to find clothing that fits you in Japan because you are so fat and Japanese people are not? He actually said tall, he didn't say fat. But I am getting weight. He's fat. I'm getting kind of fat, yeah. And honestly, I haven't shopped for clothes very much here, but if I go to Uniqlo in Ginza, they can custom cut pants for me. So for like 3,000 yen, I can get a pair of pants that actually fits better than pants in America fit. So that's really nice. And in Tokyo, there's also a place that sells like big shoes, which is really nice. So I can just go in, like all it is big shoes. So I can get shoes really easy. It's actually easier than it is for me in America. As far as shirts go, long sleeve shirts are really hard. I cannot find long sleeve shirts that actually go all the way to my wrists, but that's a problem that's also in America for me. So that's one thing that would be nice. Maybe I could find some place that could like button up shirt, nice shirt with like long sleeves, like that are fitted properly would be something that would be good to find, but I haven't really needed it. And that covers it. I need to buy socks, and I'm a little worried about that, but I think I could probably order them on Amazon or something. It's Amazon JP, actually has quite a bit of stuff, so maybe I'll just do that. I don't know. So it's really not that hard. It's actually, because I live near Tokyo, it's easier here than it is anywhere else in the world that I've ever lived. So it's no problem. Bad news, I did not win another kyde. No wedding.
I'm very disappointed in you.
We're in Shinjuku now, and it's like kind of crowded with a lot of people, so.
I have to talk loud.
Yes.
Hannah, Kathryn Cristo, and Yankee, 1-4 Ed. We don't know. We tried to figure it out. We couldn't figure it out. Both asked questions about visas. So they want to know about getting a visa the first time, deciding to stay and continuing your visa, and just the legal side of actually being here. And so when we came, my company took care basically of everything, as any company that you're working for should. Once a company decides you are going to work for them, they have said on paper that they will support you in any way that you need. They will take care of you in this country. That is what your contract says.
Or should.
Or should. My contract basically said that if anything happens to me or I do anything, at that time, Joy Talk could be held responsible. Or Joy Talk should be the people who help me out of a bad situation. And they took care of most of my stuff. When I started working here, I worked on an instructor's visa, and that meant that I worked in the public school system. When I decided that I wanted to work there for another year, again, the company took care of everything. When I lost my job, I didn't work for a company that said they would support me. Joy Talk said...
For the 3-month time period that we talked about earlier, like...
Yeah. So I was out of work for 3 months.
She wasn't fired, it was just a thing.
I kind of had to take care of my visa at that point, and getting the right paperwork, just you go online, you figure it out, and you double check with people.
It hasn't been difficult at all.
I worked with a temp agency, and I was able to ask the temp agency what I was supposed to do, but they didn't do it for me. I had to go and do it myself. So, yeah.
The people at immigration here are really, really nice. It's been no problem at all, everything we've done.
So
I've had to get like amendments to my, because I'm here on her visa as a dependent, but then I had to get an amendment so I was like legally allowed to work and stuff. And again, it's just been like, go file a form, and then it costs a couple hundred yen or 1,000 yen or whatever, and then you're done. It's really not difficult. It's pretty quick. Everything's pretty smooth.
And for the company that we work for now, which is not a public school, I have a different visa. I believe it's humanities something. I don't know. Again, the company took care of it. They filled out all the paperwork, and all I had to do
drop it off.
was go and drop it off at immigration.
And it was, nobody ever worries about it. There's never a question in anybody's mind, oh, you won't get a visa. It's no problem. As long as you haven't caused any trouble here, and the company is in good standing with the like federal government or whatever it is, everything's chill.
So it's really easy. Your company should walk you down the path to getting your visa, if not doing it all for you.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Groomp The Grump asked, what are the ideal months to visit Japan?
Spring.
And fall.
I think fall is cooler, to be honest with you, like nicer. But in spring, if you come at the right time, then you can go to cherry blossom stuff. But
late March, early April for the Sakura Festival. But fall, pretty much October and November are good for colors.
Yeah, it's awesome here.
Groomp The Grump also asked, if I come to Japan, can I hang out with you? And this question was asked by many people. Irving, Armenta, Hell's Attack, Matthew Lucas, Michelle, and the answer is yes.
If you're not a weirdo. If you're a weirdo, we don't want to like, you wouldn't want somebody like putting their boogers in our soup or something like
that. Don't put your
your
boogers in our soup. Yeah, we would definitely hang out with anybody who came. The only thing that's sad about that is that we're really busy. We've already had a few people ask us to hang out, and they've come for like 1 week. And we work Monday through Friday.
We're free on the weekends, but like I don't get off until 7:30 at night every night, like during the weekdays.
Yeah.
And Katie goes into work at 9 o'clock, so like that's like the whole day is gone, you know.
Yeah. So we'll try our best. You try your best, and we'll hang out. Kathryn Cristo 2, probably screwed that one up. Daniel McGregor, got that one right. Imran Afridi, I think I got that one right. All of you guys asked what country or place do we want to go to that might be unusual, or just a place that we dream of going to. What's yours?
What's mine? Central Africa.
Hanging with the Africa.
But we've also talked about, like I said earlier in another answer, like we want to travel across Europe, and that would be great as well.
Antarctica.
Antarctica?
Antarctica.
So expensive. We've looked into it actually.
I think it's like $5,000 a person.
Yeah, and for $5,000 we can do a lot of other stuff. That's a lot of loot for like a couple weeks.
But none of them would be like, I went to Antarctica.
I don't know. It's just so much money.
Take that, bitch.
And the battery on the camera is dying for the second time today. So we're gonna probably pick this up tomorrow because I'm also kind of tired. I want to go home and go to sleep. Katie really wants to finish.
I do.
But we're looking at this and there's like 40 questions left and it's just not gonna happen. The battery's not gonna work out. And I don't want to go to sleep in McDonald's again. So we'll see you in a few minutes, but for us it'll be a few hours.
Good morning. The camera is charged. The memory card is clear. And we are freshly woken. We decided just to call it quits last night and come home, charge up the camera, and finish all the questions today. So the weekend of questions continues. I'm really gonna mess this one up. Brandon at near? Sorry.
Yeah.
Have you ever been so lost in a country that you didn't know if you would ever find your way again? Not really.
No.
We have been lost before, but in most cases we get found within like 10 minutes, or we just don't care that we got lost and we just keep going.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. I mean, a lot of times we'll be in countries and like I have no idea where we are in the country. Like, I have no idea. Like, I couldn't even tell you like the nearest city or nearest town or what town I was in or anything. I mean, that happens. Does that count as lost? I don't know. I mean, it's not like a bad thing. We never think about it as bad. It's just like, oh, we just don't know where we are.
Yeah, it's a pretty good way to think. But if you got concerned about being lost, I don't know what to tell you. Afreijat, I think I said that right, asked us, he asked questions specifically for Eric and specifically for me, but we're just going to do it all together. One of your questions was, what's your favorite food of all time?
It's pretty tough. Right now, I don't know, like a really good burrito or something, like those burritos from Chipotle or something, those are pretty hard to top.
My mom used to make me chicken soup when I would get sick, and I make a bangin' chicken soup now. So I would say when I think about foods that I really like, I think about that chicken soup and I want to go home and make some now. He also asked, what are your favorite bands at the moment, or what's your favorite band at the moment? And the No Rook also asked kind of a similar question. He asked about artists, so I'm assuming you mean music.
Yeah, because we're not really into like art, like drawn stuff. I couldn't name very many artists, so I guess that means musician, but yeah, I hope it means musician because I can't answer the other question.
We'll go with musicians.
Okay.
What's yours for right now?
Right now, my favorite band is probably Caves. Their album Betterment is incredible, so that's really good. But I could talk a lot about music.
Yeah, you could. My favorite right now is Macklemore. I've really been enjoying his CD and just listening to it over and over again and hearing more new things that I didn't think about. So I really like that. We're gonna keep.
Go ahead.
We're gonna keep on with the favorites. Astro Boy asked, "What are your favorite top 5 Japanese beers?" And CapChronic asked, what's your favorite cocktail? So I kind of feel like these go together. My favorite beer would be Namabiru. Whatever's on tap is fine.
I've never drinking a beer in my life.
So we're not big beer drinkers. Sorry, Astro Boy. We'll take you out to Macca's for the disappointment. For CapChronic, favorite cocktails, we love umeshu, but that's not really a cocktail, it's more of a drink. Cocktails, I like a Shirley Temple with vodka and lots of cherries. Do you have a cocktail?
I don't think I know what a cocktail is.
A cocktail is like a special...
I mean, I know it's like something you make, but I couldn't name one, so...
What's something that you like? You got that weird... He got the man drink at this place, and it tasted like paint.
It was really bad.
That's your favorite. That's
your
favorite.
It's the only one I've had.
Yeah, it was really, really bad. So that's that one. And my curry, Yeah, maybe that's Michael. XD13 asked, what's your favorite Japan-only McDonald's burger? Mine is the Texas burger, and for the life of me, I can't remember what's on it, but I know I wanted another one.
I've eaten so many, I can't remember. Like, they're all blurred. Like,
Ruby Spark.
The Ruby Spark was pretty good, but
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I don't know.
That
Was it the
tops
best
Texas
one?
burger.
I don't know.
It was.
I really like cheeseburgers though. Those are the best. The burger is for dinner, the cheeseburger is for dessert. Like, that's just how I roll.
And last of the favorites, what's your favorite Japanese snack?
Pizzamon.
Yeah, that's very right for you. I like haichu, but that's like candy. Squishy candy with many different flavors, and like every couple months they come out with a new flavor. So I always enjoy like getting those and sending them home. They're really good. So I'd say that's the one that comes to mind is haichu. Oh, forgot one favorite. CapChronic and John the Bard asked what our favorite movies are. And my favorite movie of all time is probably Milo and Otis.
What about Fantastic Mr. Fox?
But what about Milo and Otis? As I stated earlier, my family is a pug family. Are there other families out there that have just random animal family? Like you only have pugs or you only have wiener dogs? Does this happen to people?
Corgi people.
Corgi people.
Yeah.
I wish I was a corgi person.
Yeah.
Yeah, Milo and Otis, I would always watch that when I would get sick and eat chicken soup. So.
And I really like documentaries. I don't like movies so much. They're okay, but I really would prefer to watch documentaries. So I think that my favorite movie that I can think of off the top of my head at the moment is American Movie, because it's just like, I don't know, it's just amazing. Everything in it is brilliant. And as far as like a non-documentary, like I really like Best in Show, which is like a spoof of a documentary.
Mockumentary.
Yeah, it's a mockumentary, and it's really, really funny.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I think that because of how genuine American Movie is, it's actually better.
Have a good time! Kathryn Cristo 2 said, did it cost a lot to get your job in Japan? We're really worried about this question. You also wrote that you're trying to get a job in Thailand and it's going to cost you a lot of money. Maybe you're talking about airfare to get there, but if they're charging you anything to work at that job, you shouldn't take that job.
That's the wrong direction the money flows when you have a job.
When we got our job in Japan, all we had to do was pay for airfare to get here, and that was it. So we're not sure what you're talking about. Maybe message us and let us know a little more about the situation. And hopefully you're not getting ripped off.
Don't send anybody money. For God's sake, don't do it.
Anyone money. Ultros Takos. Taco, not tacos. I want some tacos. Asked about traveling to new places and different cultures. How have you been impacted by traveling and experiencing other cultures? I've realized there's a lot of different people out there. That's probably one of the biggest things. But I kind of felt that in America too, because it's so diverse. But the world's a big place, and there's a lot of different people in it. And for the most part...
It's like, you know, of course, but when you go there, it's different. It impacts differently.
That kid was freaking out on the bicycle. Traveling has impacted my life by making me feel like I can really do anything. That there's no reason not to try it. Except for skydiving. I'm not doing that shit.
She'll do it.
Yeah, traveling definitely has made me feel like I can do anything.
Cool.
The next question that he or she had, what advice would you give to someone who is about to visit an unfamiliar country? Patience.
Yeah, patience. And don't be like, just be cool. Like, don't be a jerk. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just chill.
If someone can't understand you, don't talk louder.
Yeah, just be chill. Like, just be a cool person and you'll be fine. Just, have a good intentions.
We were at a hotel in Macau, and it was like one of the crappiest motels we've ever been at, or like a dorm. And the walls were really, really thin. And this guy comes in at 1 o'clock in the morning looking for a room. He didn't have any bags or anything. It was really strange. And he came in and they were talking at a normal level, and then the guy couldn't understand what he was saying, so he just kept talking louder and louder and louder, waking up everybody in this place. Like, everybody heard him. So I walked out and I just told him, it's not that he can't hear you, he can't understand you. And I had to go and like help them figure out who was getting what room and what was happening. Like, it was just like, don't do that. That's not what's happening.
That dude was not being cool.
Yeah.
Just be cool.
Be cool. Relaxed and patient. Take your time. Smile.
Things work out. They always work out. If you just chill about things and you just have patience, everything always works out. Like,
and
it never, and so far it has not worked out for us.
And a big smile will help you. It will get you a long way.
She has a better smile than I do.
Star Baby asks, do you make Western food or eat out more? And I think it's about even for us with our work schedule now. Maybe 2 nights a week during the work week, I make food. 2 nights a week we go out, and then the weekend's just a free-for-all, whatever happens. And I think it's about even, eating out at restaurants and making Western food or Japanese food at home. I don't always make Western food when I cook. Sometimes I make Japanese food too.
And I'm about to eat out right now and have a bickle.
Ooh, bickle.
So let's put 100 yen in the machine and get a bickle. All right, bickle, what do you got for me? And this is cool because it's like, it came in a glass. Like, this is a glass jar. Can you pop the top for me?
Yeah. Should we have shaken it first?
Bickle is so good. Here you are.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, 100 yen.
Yeah.
But now you got to figure out where to put this glass.
How do you describe the flavor of bickle?
You want the real description of what we call it?
Well, you can call it that, but then give them something that's relatable.
It's kind of like a watery, sweet milk.
Yeah.
Like watery, condensed milk, maybe.
Yeah.
It's really good.
We call it breast milk.
Because this is what we hope comes out of breasts. Imran Afridi asked us to talk about a nightmare that we've had at some point, like in real life. And the biggest thing that comes to mind is that we hate islands in Southeast Asia.
We live in an island.
We live on an island. It works out pretty
It's
well.
in like Northeast Asia.
Southeast Asia is not good for
Well, it
islands.
is, yeah. Well.
I don't think so. But the reason is because we were in Koh Phi Phi
In Thailand.
And Eric decided that he was going to eat some watermelon.
I shouldn't have eaten this watermelon.
That watermelon was suspect and disastrous. Eric had food poisoning that night, and it took about 2 or 3 weeks to fully recuperate from the disaster that happened that night. He basically vomited and crapped out everything that was inside of him, and then continued to do both of those things all night until
there's no medical facilities or anything, and I had to climb like this set of like rickety stairs up a hill to a toilet that didn't work.
That was really wet, and then that toilet broke in the middle of the night, so we then had to go to a different toilet, and the hotel that we were staying at didn't have really any staff available at that time. Like, they just closed down, and the people that were staying there were just the only people. I mean, if we needed help, we'd have to go and ask another guest to help us carry Eric down a hill to get him to some sort of...
Oh, to a medical facility was like 30 or 40 minutes through the woods.
On a boat. Well,
or on a boat, if you could get a boat.
He would have to take a boat, but if I wanted to go to the medical facility to get the medical facility to come to him, I'd have to walk through the woods at nighttime by myself to try and find someone to help us.
It was rough, and I almost died, basically.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a nightmare scenario.
I sat in the corner crying.
I just kind of gave up. I was just like, I'm gonna die. It's okay. It's like done.
He was just in and out talking to me in gibberish, and I was on really bad internet connections trying to ask people what I should do, because I don't have any medical background. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not a mom. I'm not qualified for this. Okay, and it was just a really terrifying night.
I lost a lot of
feeling
weight.
really helpful. You should probably show the picture.
Yeah, if we remember, we'll put the picture.
Maybe we'll show the picture. Yeah, he lost a lot of weight, and it was really, really scary for both of us.
And speaking of nightmares, this sign that we're standing by, this sign says, beware of perverts.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you.
Or molesters. I don't know exactly how to translate it.
It's lunchtime, and we have stopped at what we call the Chicken Hof, and it's really called La Terra, and I don't know why that Spanish name is used, but it's chicken sandwiches. That's what it is.
So it's a fried chicken sandwich with mayonnaise and tomato and lettuce and onions and chicken. And
Delicious.
Yeah, we've eaten here before.
Yeah, I think this is like our third or fourth time eating here. The guy that runs the place is really nice and just, he makes excellent chicken sandwiches. Some of the best I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, chicken is really juicy.
Chick-fil-A got nothing on this.
You have a good point.
Yeah.
And I have a burger that is very similar. It's not as, the frying is a little different. Like yours is like crispy.
Crispy.
And mine is just regular deep fried. And mine has teriyaki sauce on it. And again, it's just banging.
And oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Thomas Fure, sorry again, 00. What would you be? A fat, sweaty sumo or a samurai? And I would be samurai.
Yeah, I think I'd be a samurai too. I think it would be fun to like be a sumo wrestler for a day, but I think I could get old.
For a lifetime, samurai.
Ajita Kimberly asks, do you guys ever go to a game center arcade hall? If so, what is your favorite game? And the answer to that is yes, I go to game centers all the time. Sometimes I go into Tokyo just to go to game centers because there's so many different ones with so many different games. And what is my favorite game? Right now, it is a game called Reflect Beat, and it is a rhythm game that is incredible. And if you have like an iPad, it's free to download. You should download and play it, but it's really cool in the arcades. So that's it.
All right, questions about home. Eugene Kozinski said, how often do you contact your families and friends back home? Friends are generally contacted almost daily by Facebook and stuff like that.
Yeah, or just using like instant messenger type things through Gmail and stuff.
And some family as well through that. But contacting family, I talk to some of my family on a monthly basis.
Yeah, same with me. I call my dad every month.
Yeah, but not very often.
My dad's not like keen on typing, so it's easier to just talk to him through the phone, but we just have a Gmail like account, so I can call him. He lives in the States, and so I can just call him and it's free basically, so it's not a big deal or anything.
Yeah. Eugene and X Heartsims X, I think, wanted to know if we ever get homesick. And I wouldn't say that I get homesick anymore. When we started traveling in the round the world trip, I did get homesick, and I got homesick for something that was never going to exist again. In my head, I thought when we go back to the States, I'm gonna go back to this place that I was in before. But I mean, the house that we lived in had been sold to other people, and we didn't have anywhere to live, and all of the stuff that we had before we left, we didn't have that stuff anymore. So I had created in my head this idea of this fantasy world that we would be going back to. And when we went back to the States, that didn't happen, and I wasn't crushed or anything, but I realized that that dream place doesn't exist. And I think that's what makes people get homesick, is they have that thing still at home. They have that thing that's perfect that they can go back to. And we don't have that. We don't have a place of our own. We don't have lots of things of our own that are back home. So I don't really feel like I get homesick anymore, because that special place is where I am now.
I think I'm just a drifter, so I don't ever get homesick about anything. I'm just like, whatever, let's go.
So no homesickness, really, at this point. The things that I miss from home,
Yeah, somebody did ask that, right?
Yeah.
Can you find it?
Oh, man.
So things that I miss food things, honestly. That's pretty much it. Sometimes I miss driving. Driving is kind of fun, but most of the time I don't really care. Especially like driving in Japan is kind of not fun. So, but driving in the States can be fun, like on country roads and stuff, so that can be fun.
Yeah.
But food, I miss good, cheap Mexican food, oh my God. I miss American Chinese food. They have Chinese food here, it's not the same thing. So, I mean, it's good in its own right, but it's not the same, you know? I don't really miss American food. You can get burgers and you can get pizza and stuff here. Sometimes like Papa John's, I could go for Papa John's. I haven't found a pizza here that has a good sweet sauce.
You said pizza.
Pizza. Sometimes I miss like hearing like unique American accents and stuff. Like when you talk to people and they have like a strong Southern accent or something, you don't really experience in like that type of thing here. And it's fun to hear that type of thing. So like when you do hear it, it's cool. Did you find the question?
Yes, I just did.
Yay.
Lisa Wells asked, what do you miss about the US? I miss driving fast and dangerously.
So she's kind of saying what I said.
Fast.
She's
I miss
a dangerous driver.
Yeah, I'm a dangerous driver.
They have interstates here, you just have to pay a toll and it's like super expensive, so we just avoid them.
Yeah, so most of the trips, if you see us driving, we're on like regular rural roads.
With a million stoplights.
With a million stoplights, so everything's gonna take us twice as long almost to try and get somewhere. And we started to weigh the options of paying a little more money.
It depends, like, it's like, do you have more time or do you have more money? And like, usually we have way more time than we have money.
Yeah.
But now our time is getting more limited and our money isn't getting any higher. But so that's where it's becoming difficult to weigh this.
I also miss convenient shopping. I miss understanding everything in the store.
Yeah.
Or being able to read the package. I really do miss that. And I mean, I could study Japanese a little and try and
to be able to
figure
read
out.
a package on like instructions, that's like, even if you diligently study, you're looking at like 6 or 7 years to be able to like comprehend everything completely accurately.
So
we know enough that we can like screw our way through things and like figure things out, but the details, like, it's so difficult to read their language.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing that sticks out to me. And understanding stores from the outside. Like, sometimes I can stare at a store and I have no idea what's going on inside there. So it's mainly like comprehension, being able to read something and understand what it is without it being frustrating.
And some of it is language and some of it is we didn't grow up here, so like you just don't recognize certain like symbols or certain like logos that means, oh, they sell this. Like there's just certain things you just don't know, and it has nothing to do with being able to read. It's just like recognition of how a store looks.
I also miss the cereal aisle.
Yeah, the cereal aisle was banging in America.
Yeah,
that's a really good point.
And clothes that fit us. Well, you still have trouble.
I had that problem in the States, I think, worse than here.
Yeah, I miss being able to shop and get clothes that fit me. It's not a struggle here, but there's not much variety for me.
But like things like TV and movies and music and stuff, the internet, so like doing this before the internet was a big thing. Like if you came here like in the 90s or before, it would be a completely different experience.
Shocking, I bet.
It would be completely different. You'd be isolated in a really weird way. But it's really not that hard to stay in contact with people and like be immersed within your own culture because of the internet.
So there you have it. Our next question comes from Akatini. And the person asks, how can you be so cheerful and positive about your lives for most of the time? Our lives are not always peachy and wonderful. I mean, I have bad days. We have bad instances. We have things we definitely don't like about our lives. But we're not gonna waste your time, and we're not gonna waste our time making a video about it. Like, why drone on about that or sink into it? I mean, believe me, we come home from work and we have hours where maybe we'll just talk about things that annoyed us, just like everyone else. But it's a lot more fun to make videos like this. Just smile. JD's 619 has written, have you been to any Japanese soccer games? Does this count? It's not a professional game, obviously. Yes, we went to see an Urawa Reds game a couple months ago. We did make a video about it.
I don't think we did.
Oh.
We should have. Sorry.
Maybe we will in the future, because Urawa Reds followers, fans, are really energetic and totally fun to watch. It was a great game, lots of fun. So maybe we'll make a video about that in the future. And so yes, we have been to Japanese soccer games. And Chicago Sandman says, what sports teams do you like, Japanese and American?
We don't follow sports at all.
We're Urawa Reds fans now, because we live here.
Say it again. It's a mouthful. It's easier if you say Musashi in front of it.
Musashi Urawa Reds. Urawa Reds. It's really hard. You can try it.
Urawa Reds.
Urawa Reds. You need to put on the bottom how it's written so that they can try it. Yeah, we don't really follow much sports at all. Nothing.
Yeah, and when it's sports season like in America and like all my friends on Facebook are talking about it, I don't even know what sport they're talking about. So if that gives you any indication, sorry.
I feel like we've disappointed a lot of people.
At least the sports people.
Sorry.
We did just remember that I went to a baseball game when we were like traveling, not when we were living in Japan, and the team was the Tokyo Swallows. And when I went, they were wearing like pink and like purple, like fuchsia and white uniforms. And they were running around with the word Swallows on their uniform. And it was just a circus, man. So I think I'm a Tokyo Swallows fan. They play baseball, by the way. Baseball, not soccer. Ricky Frank asks, can you post up more atomic ray gun attack stuff? And this is a funny question because it's really phenomenal to me that somebody who doesn't personally know me has found both Atomic Ray Gun Attack, which is a band I used to be in, and found these videos that we're making, because there's really no like logical connection, like how they both, this person knew what both things are. So Ricky Frank, you have shocked me. Atomic Ray Gun Attack is not a band anymore. So anything that exists already exists on YouTube, and we have a secondary channel that is KEPSUX backwards. So if you look up that channel, then you'll see a bunch of Atomic Ray Gun Attack videos and stuff. And if you don't have any idea what I'm talking about, you can look it up, or you can go to atomicraygunattack.com, and we recorded a bunch of albums for free. I recorded a bunch of albums. It wasn't free to record them because we had to pay for the equipment, but it was free for you to download them. So if you go to our website, there's a bunch of stuff there. And it's basically just silly pop punk stuff, and it's fun, I guess, if you like that kind of music.
I like it.
Steve Jennings says, why are almost all the cars in Japan white?
I think that most people think that you can see white cars better than you can see other colored cars. I think that stands for nighttime. I think it's easier for them to catch the light and reflect it. During the daytime, I don't really think that's true in comparison to other cars. And as you can see, white. But if you look over here, there's many different colors. The majority are going to be white. There are a lot of service vehicles.
Yeah, I think that's
white.
more what it is. Like vans and stuff are white, but people's cars, when they buy them, they're a variety of colors. They're black, and there's a turquoise and a blue, and
we saw that epic yellow one today.
yeah, there's not a lot of red cars. I'll give you that though. That's not a common color here for a vehicle. But I don't know. I never really noticed. So I guess there's a lot of white cars. Did you notice?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice. Anyway, yeah. So cars.
B-Girl291 asks, how do you find most Japanese people react to you on site? Do they stare? Are they indifferent? We have a lot of different groups that we interact with, and I'm going to start with the groups that we see on a daily basis, which are our students. How do they react to us? They react to us like we're not special at all. They just think we're cool people, and that's it. Nothing strange about us, no staring, but they are exposed to foreigners all the time.
And they're little kids, and they've also been exposed to foreigners in a situation where foreigners are always fun people because they're always the teacher who's supposed to be making class fun for them. Mm-hmm. So they kind of just expect all foreigners to be fun people, which is, I mean, it's not like I feel like a clown or anything, they just think foreigners are fun people. So that's, I guess, a good thing to have them think.
People in big cities. We don't really get stared at in big cities.
They don't.
Unless it's by people who
are from the outside of the big city.
Yeah, but people in big cities, they don't even blink at us.
Or they're maybe mentally, there's something not quite right with them. Like maybe they should be on medication or something. Like people that are mentally ill sometimes react strangely to us, but they react kind of strangely to everyone. So it's really not that big of a deal.
Then people in small towns are broken into 2 categories, adults and children. Adults will look at you, but they will immediately look away if you look in their direction. Children will stare.
Yeah.
And that's totally fine. In small towns, they may not have seen a foreigner before, or maybe you're like the 3rd foreigner they've ever seen in the 6 years they've been living.
And that's really how you can tell that you're in a place where foreigners don't go very often, is how the children react to you.
Yeah.
The adults in Japan tend to be very, very polite and mindful of like, they don't want to stare at people, they don't look at you weirdly. Like, there's a bit of a weird feeling here because like you expect that you're going to get looked at because you look different than everyone, but then nobody looks at you ever and it makes you feel invisible sort of. It's bizarre. Yeah. It's a bizarre feeling. And I think it's really like prevalent in northern Japan or like Tokyo and north. And when you go further south, people are a little more engaged and they like will make eye contact a little more and stuff. So like I noticed that when we were in Osaka and Kyoto, that people are a little more like normal the way they look at each other. But in Kanto and this area, it's like people don't look at each other at all ever. Somebody could walk on the train dressed like, there's an old guy that walks around Tokyo and he's like an old dude with a long beard and he wears a schoolgirl uniform, and we've seen him in public a couple of times and like you saw him like nobody even glances at him, like nobody looks at each other ever. Like you could walk in onto a train wearing a clown uniform and people would look at you out of the corner of your eye, but they wouldn't respond.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what it is.
So indifferent to kind of looking at you, but not looking at you.
Yeah.